Good morning, School of Light. We are in chapter 4 of Leviticus. If you're just coming in by chance for the first time, my name is Seferino Beta, and we are School of Light, a mail through or Bible study through the mail system correspondence course. And we have correspondence courses for ages 4 years old or ages 4 years old all the way through adult. Home students, we have senior students, we have incarcerated students, we have students throughout the United States, and it's free. It's free for you. You never pay anything. You request it, we send it to you. We have a prepaid envelope, address and everything for us. So when you answer the questions, you send it back to us. We have a file for you. We create it, or we create a file if we don't have one, and we keep track. Once you complete a series, then we give you certificates of completion, and some of those can lead to college credits. Numbers chapter 4, let's hop to it. Oh, the Levites, or correction, the Kohathites. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, take a census of the Kohathite branch of the Levites. Oops, sorry. Let's see, branch of the Levites by their clan and families. Count all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who come to serve in the work of the tent meeting. So I had to adjust that. This is the work of the Kohathites in the tent meeting, the care of the most holy things. When the camp is to move, Aaron and his sons are to go in and take down the shielding curtain and cover the ark of the testimony with it. They are to cover this with hides of sea cows, spread a cloth of solid blue over that, and put poles in place. Over the table of presence, they are to spread a blue cloth and put on it the plates, dishes, and bowls, and the jars for drink offerings. The bread that is continually there is to remain on it. Over these, they are to spread a scarlet cloth, cover that with hides of sea cows, and put its poles in place. They are to take a blue cloth and cover the lampstand that is for light, together with its lampstands, its wick trimmers, and trays, and all its jars for the oil used to supply it. Then they are to wrap it and all its accessories in a covering of hides of sea cows and put it on a carrying frame. Over the gold altar, they are to spread a blue cloth and cover it with hides of sea cows and put its poles in place. They are to take all the articles used for ministering in the sanctuary, wrap them in a blue cloth, cover that with hides of sea cows, and put them on a carrying frame. They are to remove the ashes from the bronze altar and spread a purple cloth over it. Then they are to place on it all the utensils used for ministering at the altar, including the fire pans, meat forks, shovels, sprinkling bowls. Over it, they are to spread a covering of hides of sea cows and put its poles in place. After Aaron and his sons have finished covering the holy finishings and all the holy articles, and when the camp is ready to move, the Kohathites are to come to do the carrying, but they must not touch the holy things or they will die. The Kohathites are to carry those things that are in the tent of meeting. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, is to have charge of the oil for the light, the fragrant incense, the regular grain offering, and anointing oil. He is to be in charge of the entire tabernacle and everything in it, including its holy furnishings and articles. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, see that the Kohathite tribal clans are not cut off from the Levites, so that they may live and not die when they come near the most holy things. Do this for them. Aaron and his sons are to go into the sanctuary and assign to each man his work and what he is to carry. But the Kohathites must not go in to look at the holy things, even for a moment, or they will die. The Lord said to Moses, take a census also of the Gershonites by their families and clans. Count all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who come to serve in the work of the tent of meeting. This is the service of the Gershonite clan. As they work and carry burdens, they are to carry the curtains of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, its covering, and the outer covering of hides of sea cows, the curtains for the entrance to the tent of meeting, the curtains of the courtyard surrounding the tabernacle, the altar, the curtain for the entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment used in the service. The Gershonites are to do all that needs to be done with these things. All their service, whether carrying or doing other work, is to be done under the direction of Aaron and his sons. You shall assign to them as their responsibility all that they are to carry. This is the service of the Gershonite clans at the tent of meeting. Their duties are to be under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. That's kind of interesting. So, what stuck out the most was this is the service of the Gershonite clans as they work and carry burdens. What an interesting. I've read this, guys. I just didn't maybe notice it. And I thank you guys for being here because it makes me. I'm going to grab a pen because I like to underline, highlight, all that stuff when I see something interesting. And a pencil will do. So the Gershonite clan, they work as they work and carry burdens. Interesting. And I'm not even sure who these Gershonites and the Meronite, because I don't remember reading about them as a tribe of Israelites. Count the Meritites by their clans and families. Count all the men from 30 to 50 years of age who come and serve in the work of the tent of meeting. This is their duty as they perform services at the tent of meeting, to carry the frames of the tabernacle, its crossbars, posts, and bases, as well as the posts of the surrounding courtyard, with their bases, tent pegs, ropes, and all their equipment, everything related to their use. Assign each man the specific things he has to carry. This is the service of the Meritite clans as they work at the tent of meeting under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Moses and Aaron, the leaders of the community, counted the Kohathites by their clans and families. All the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to serve in the work of the tent of meeting, counted by clans, were 2,750. This is the total of all those in the Kohathite clans who served in the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them according to the Lord's command through Moses. The Gershonites were counted by their clans and families. All the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to serve in the work of the tent of meeting, counted by their clans and families, were 2,630. This was the total of those in the Gershonite clans who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them according to the Lord's command. The Merithites were counted by their clans and families. All the men from the 30 to 50 years of age who came to serve in the work of the tent of meeting, counted by their clans, were 3,200. This was a total of those in the Merithite clans. Moses and Aaron counted them according to the Lord's command through Moses. Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel counted all the Levites by their clans and families. All the men from 30 to 50 years of age who came to do the work of serving and carrying the tent of meeting numbered 8,580. At the Lord's command through Moses, each was assigned his work and told what to carry. Thus they were counted as the Lord commanded Moses. So these guys were like, actually, what they were doing was just figuring out how to carry the. Well, that's like their purpose. It looks like. Okay, let's see. All right, chapter 5. And we got time. The Lord said to Moses, command the Israelites to send away from the camp anyone who has an infectious skin disease or a discharge of any kind, or who is ceremonially unclean because of a dead body. Send away male and female alike. Send them outside the camp so they will not defile the camp where I dwell among them. The Israelites did this, and they sent them outside the camp. They did just as the Lord had instructed Moses. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, when a man or woman wrongs another in any way, and so is unfaithful to the Lord, that person is guilty and must confess the sin he has committed. Must confess. I heard people say that there can't be no forgiveness of sin unless it's confessed. Confession is so important. You know, it's like, for example, years and years ago, I had beat up a guy, and my confession was, yeah, he deserved it. He was a bigger guy. He was older. buying this alcohol, and um, finally, the truth was that the guy didn't deserve what I did. And until I confessed it, I didn't, until at first I was confessing, oh yeah, I'm tough, older guy, don't mess with me. Then it went to, God, I'm sorry. If this wasn't my brother in God's way, this is somebody else's brother. And confession, guys, it's so important. Um, okay, he must make and confess the sin he has committed. He must make full restitution for his wrong, add a 20th or a fifth to it, and give it all to the person he has wronged. But if that person has no close relative to whom restitution can be made for the wrong, the restitution belongs to the Lord and must be given to the priest along with the ram with which atonement is made for him. All the sacred contribution the Israelites bring to a priest will belong to him. Each man's sacred gifts are his own, but what he gives to the priest will belong to the priest. Then the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, if a man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to him by sleeping with another man, and this is hidden from her husband, and her impurity is undetected, since there's no witness against her, and she has not been caught in the act, and if feelings of jealousy come over her husband, and he suspects his wife, and she is impure, or if he is jealous and suspects her even though she is not impure, then he is to take his wife to the priest. He must also take an offering of a tenth of an ephah of barley flour on her behalf. He must not pour oil on it or put incense on it, because it is a grain offering for jealousy, a reminder offering to draw attention to guilt. Reminder offering. The priest shall bring her and have her stand before the Lord. Then he shall take some holy water in a clay jar and put some dust from the tabernacle floor into the water. After the priest has had the woman stand before the Lord, he shall loosen her hair and place in her hands the reminder offering, the grain offering for jealousy, while he himself holds the bitter water that brings a curse. Then the priest shall put the woman under an oath. Say to her, if no other man has slept with you, and you have not gone astray and become impure while married to your husband, may this bitter water that brings a curse not harm you. But if you have gone astray while married to your husband, and you have defiled yourself by sleeping with another man other than your husband, here the priest is to put the woman under this curse of the oath. May the Lord cause your people to curse and denounce you when he causes your thigh to waste away and your abdomen to swell. May this water that brings a curse enter your body, so that your abdomen swells and your thigh wastes away. The woman is to say, Amen, let it be, or so be it. The priest is to write these curses on the scroll and then wash them off into the bitter water. He shall have the woman drink the bitter water that brings a curse, and this water will enter and cause bitter suffering. The priest is to take from her hands the grain offering for jealousy, wave it before the Lord, and bring it to the altar. The priest is then to take a handful of the grain offering as a memorial offering and burn it on the altar. After that, he is to have a woman drink the water. If she has defiled herself and been unfaithful to her husband, then when she is made to drink the water that it brings a curse, it will go into her and cause bitter suffering. Her abdomen will swell and her thigh waste away, and she'll become accursed among her people. If, however, the woman has not defiled herself and is free from impurity, she will be cleared of guilt and will be able to have children. This, then, is the law of jealousy. When a woman goes astray and defiles herself while married to her husband, or when feelings of jealousy come over a man because he suspects his wife, the priest is to have her stand before the Lord and is to apply this entire law to her. The husband will be innocent of any wrongdoing, but the woman will bear the consequences of her sin. Wow. So chapter 5 is really having a purity in the camp. Whether it's restitution for wrongs, test for unfaithful wife, you have to have a strong discipline, structure when you have people around. And think of a family of seven. Let's say you're the mom, you're the dad, and you have a few kids, and then your brothers have their kids or cousins, and these cousins don't operate by traditional laws, or like don't steal, don't commit adultery, those kinds of things. So imagine if how much chaos, and that's what happens in the world. This whole world out here, some people think it's wonderful to sleep with someone else's husband. Some people think it's beautiful to share your wife or to share your husband. Some people think it's cool to go out, and it's really a hollow lifestyle when I think about it. But you go out, whatever. You have a few girlfriends, you meet them or whatever. You call them, come over. You guys have sex. You get your satisfaction that you're looking for, and then she's gone. You're gone. Your separate ways. And how is that anything to look forward to versus, you find your wife, you treat her the way the Bible, you love her, you 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 invest into her, you pour into her. Is really the word I'm looking for. You pour love, you pour everything that you can to help her have emotions that are strong and and just freeing for her, um, and then you have sex. But it really is not like sex. It is sex, but it's deeper and it's better than that. And I see that God's word is just so wise, and these people that obey it and have folks around them and teach them and influence them to obey it, we're so much better off that way. Well, guys, I got a call here at 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock my time. No, I got a call in an hour, so I got a little bit of time. But anyway, I'm going to get off this. It's nearing the 18-minute mark, and what could I give you guys that would encourage and spur? I'll say this. If you tried your way, if you've lived it your way, you think that you had it, and you're listening to idiots, trust me, so many people out there are idiots. If you're talking to your friend, he says, yeah, man, come on, let's go to the strip club and let's find some hoes. Or let's go to this place. Jay's coming with his cousin, that female, and you know how badass she is. I want to go, and then you listen to that and you follow that. And next thing you know, you started at 23, you're 33, and you're still doing this. Well, then next thing you know, 5 more years, you're 38, 39. You're not pretty no more. For a guy, or maybe for a girl too. You're not pretty no more. You're not gonna pull in, and then you get. Just don't listen to. There's so many people out here that are so full of nothing. Watch who you're listening to. Spend your time. Don't depend on me. Don't depend on the priest. Don't depend on your pastor. Depend on God. Know Him.